episode 1 of maybe a podcast. Yeah. I've got just a list of things to talk about here. We really just wanted to talk about Batman and didn't have a reason to.
We're not 5 seconds into this and AJ's already got nothing.
Yeah, AJ's gone.
Batman?
He's Batman. Every Batman villain ever.
Someone say Batman?
Because I'm pretty sure they all just say Batman. And that's it.
Yeah. Batman?
In a different voice. Or the same one, doesn't matter. So the Batman came out. And that was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Batman is
so
my favorite
good.
Batman is my favorite superhero. And my second favorite superhero is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got like 2 of their best movies within like 3 months of each other is insane.
We're in heaven right now.
It's got the quality of the Nolan movies, but it's actually feels like a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Which is like my only problem with those movies is they don't feel like superhero movies.
Yeah.
And this movie just had literally everything I wanted it to have.
It's really, really good.
I don't even have complaints. I don't even have like... I've got like 3 notes that are like, maybe I'd have done this differently, but like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just everything.
It's actually the ratings have went down, but it's still really high.
Mm-hmm. I felt like I was playing that game Clue. Remember that? Oh, game Clue?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Like, oh yeah, sorry.
No, I'm not sure. So,
no.
I've only played Connect 4, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
It's like a big live action version of Among Us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's a good comparison.
Even though it's not even really a murder mystery.
What's wild is that if you think about it, World's Greatest Detective is a really bad detective. Like the one thing he wasn't great at was detecting shit. Like
he still was.
I think Riddler probably won the movie, if you think about it. Because like he went to jail, but he accomplished everything he wanted to do other than killing Bruce Wayne, and then basically destroyed the city before he got caught. Yeah. He gave himself up, so he didn't really get caught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he got caught, but he thought he got caught because
he thought he was done. Yeah,
he wanted to watch it all unfold with Batman because he thought Batman was on his side, which was a genius twist.
Oh yeah,
because there's thousands of different reasons that Riddler always left clues. Sometimes it was just to be silly. Sometimes it was he was challenging Batman's detective skills. But the idea that he thought the whole time, he genuinely thought Batman was on his side, just through misunderstandings and him being kind of loony.
The twist. I'll put a spoiler warning in here at the very beginning. But
yeah, you got to put. Yeah. I was gonna say that.
Or it'll be in the title of the episode, maybe something like that. Mm-hmm. But when he's going at the end, when he's like Bruce Wayne, Bruce, and you think he knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and then it's revealed that he's just thinking to himself, "I didn't fucking kill Bruce Wayne. Like he's the only one me and you didn't get."
He's obsessed over it, and that's
crazy.
It's so genius because. I was a little worried with them turning Riddler into a serial killer. I was worried that there wasn't going to be any Riddler DNA in him other than the fact that he left clues.
Yeah.
But they really did get because he obsesses over very small details and he's usually very calm and collected until somebody steps out of line of what he expected. Like in the whole thing where he's got the collar around the guy's neck and he's having this conversation that he's clearly rehearsed 1,000 times with Batman. Yeah. And all of a sudden the hostage starts talking and he just freaks out and screams and because he didn't expect that. Yes, exactly. And that's what Riddler, that's a big part of Riddler's identity. So they did keep the Riddler DNA in there, even though they turned him into a more psychopathic person.
Yeah.
And I really love Paul Dano anyway, so I knew he was going to kill him no matter what. But he went even further than I thought he would.
I think the first time I looked at the critic score, it was like 92, 90, something like that.
Yeah, it was
and
nice.
Now it's at an 86. But
Which really, I mean,
I mean,
the way the score's calculated, it's not just a simple, if it's higher, it's better.
mm,
It's kind of a ballpark of if you're in like the 75, 100 range, it's usually great.
yeah,
Because, like, the way it's calculated isn't, they're not rating it on a scale of 1 to 10. They're
yeah,
just saying, did you like it or did you not like it?
yeah,
And you can like a movie that's a 6 out of 10. And if a bunch of people like a 6 out of 10 movie, it'll get like a 90 something score.
yeah.
Doing some last second
And
changing.
AJ's moving furniture. I don't know what he's doing.
AJ's changing wardrobe.
I just had a better idea of how to sit.
Okay.
Right in the middle of it.
Audience score
Like,
is 89,
collar.
which I think is
Mhm.
89, 90 is probably about right.
I don't think anybody should ever
It's so good.
take Rotten Tomatoes.
No,
as
I mean
long.
me and Carson went
No.
through. We were waiting on AJ to get in here, and we went through like, I'm sure most of you know what Arrow is, and
Nope.
I mean, the CW shows are not by any means good television, and the critic scores on those shows are all like 95%. So, take
Mhm.
that for what you will.
Yeah, not a. Yeah, the sites like that are always just a fun little. What does everybody else think? And
Yeah. Because I'll tell you
Oh,
right
that's
now,
pretty bad.
season 6 of Arrow is not an 88%.
then
There's no shot. So.
No
Uh,
shot. No way you're catching a ball.
So I got a few little debates on here for the Batman stuff.
Mhm.
I put on here the Batman versus the Dark Knight. If you have to pick one.
The Batman, and I don't say that lightly because
Yeah.
The Dark Knight is my second favorite movie of all time.
So this is your favorite?
It's my second favorite. I still think my favorite movie ever is Back to the Future, but I think there's so much
So this
emotional
is-
connection there.
So this is like 2A and 2B. Batman and Dark
Yeah,
Knight?
pretty much. Yes.
Gotcha.
But I like this better because, and maybe over time I'll kind of, when the hype subsides, maybe I'll change my mind. But like I said, The Dark Knight is an amazingly crafted movie, and I don't really have any flaws with it.
Yeah. Just doesn't
But
really
it's
feel
not-
like a superhero movie.
It's not, yeah, and it's not comic accurate at all. That's not
Yeah.
saying what they do is bad, but it doesn't really even use the comics other than for first and last names of characters.
Yeah. AJ?
But this was, oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
This was just the same amount of masterfully crafted movie, but it had the comic DNA in it.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's frozen. Can you hear us? Okay, there you go. If you got to pick one, AJ, what are you picking?
I've never watched The Dark Knight,
Yeah, he's never watched The Dark
Oh,
Knight, so I
shit.
don't know. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
but I actually really like this movie a lot.
It's
Carson could vouch.
it's great.
Like whenever a cool scene popped up,
Yeah,
I was giggling like a little girl.
Sad,
yeah, there was.
I wish we could all saw it together, but we didn't. But
Like especially that hallway scene where
The
it was
hallway
like
scene.
pitch black and all you
The-
could see was like
the
the
gunfire
and him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, there's-
there's lots of giggling from.
I saw
AJ
it with
as
a buddy down here, and
Mhm.
I mean, you would have thought it was two schoolgirls watching like a My Little Pony live action movie or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
We were squealing, like.
The opening beatdown, which is in the trailers 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Will had not seen that trailer, the original trailer where
Yeah.
that beatdown took place, so
Yeah.
that was his first time seeing that beatdown.
The I Am Vengeance one.
Yes,
Gosh.
so because the first trailer Will saw was like the last trailer that came out,
Yeah.
so he was like just just completely blown away, and just everybody was giggling the whole time.
Yeah,
It was like
for sure.
so. I was hesitant on Pattinson, not because I think he's a bad actor, because I think he's a great actor. If you've seen movies like The Lighthouse or Good Time,
Yeah.
you know he's a great actor. Twilight is a fluke in his career,
Yeah.
but it's the most popular one, so that's the one everybody points to. So I didn't have a problem with him as an actor, but I just didn't know if he could be Batman.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I said the same thing with Ben Affleck. I wasn't really into movies whenever Christian Bale was announced, but just the idea of Christian Bale doesn't seem very Batman to me,
Yeah.
and I think they both killed it.
Well, that's
So,
well. First, I'll give my opinion. I would pick
mhm,
the new one, the Batman, over
mhm,
Dark Knight. Uh, and I would. To me, Bale and Pattinson are really close,
mhm,
and it hurts me to be like, what puts me over the edge is
mhm,
the side characters, because
mhm,
obviously Heath Ledger's like, I mean, he's the actual. I wouldn't even call him the side character. He's the fucking main character of that movie.
mhm.
Like, Heath Ledger's Joker's
See that?
amazing,
Yeah, that's
but this Riddler,
right.
Penguin, Catwoman, like they're all great. I didn't have a problem with a single character in this movie.
Mhm.
I love it.
And see, that's my thing with the Dark Knight is actually I don't really love Christian Bale in that movie because I mean I don't think he did a terrible job or anything. I don't think he did anything wrong. I just he's the least interesting character in the movie that's named after him.
Yeah.
He's just very. I don't think he really has a ton in terms of an arc. There's a little bit with him and Rachel's relationship,
Hmm.
but I feel like the Harvey Dent side of that relationship is the more interesting part of it and what
Yeah.
causes the most, change and stuff. So with the Dark Knight, I feel like I don't love the Dark Knight because of Christian Bale. I guess is the best way to word it.
Yeah.
But Robert Pattinson is one of the shining parts of the Batman.
Yeah. So that'll make the next question really easy for you. Pattinson versus Affleck versus Bale.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of unfair because Ben Affleck never got his own movie. He
Yeah.
was supposed to get a movie with Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke, which at the time I was like, that's going to be the best Batman movie yet.
Yeah.
And well, it's unfortunate that got canned. We got this movie in its place, so
Yeah.
I can't complain too much, I suppose. So it's a little unfair, but it's even though he didn't get his own movie, I still feel like his performance in Batman versus Superman is enough that it's very, very close.
Him and
But I
Pattinson.
think, Mhm.
Yeah.
but I think Pattinson wins over very slightly because of the subtleties, like just little moments of like the threats he makes are very Batman.
His
I
like
don't think.
one or two line badass
Hmm.
lines are like
Hmm.
the most Batman shit. Like I am the
Yes, exactly.
shadows, I am vengeance.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
that's right out of the
Um,
cartoons and stuff.
uh, his threats to during the scene where he's the first time he meets Penguin, and Penguin's like, do you know what kind of reputation I have? And he's like, I do. Do you? Like
Yeah.
that was right out of the comics. That was I heard. I could easily hear Kevin Conroy saying that, who I think is like the ideal, maybe not like the 100% quality best Batman, but
Hmm.
he is the ideal Batman. He
Yeah.
gets the character, I think, the most. Um, and so the fact that Robert Pattinson had some of that, uh, little moments like that, like the moment when the first murder
Oh.
investigation,
Okay.
that cop's trying to just walk past Batman, and he does that thing we all do where he takes like one step just to send the information. He's like, hey, I'm trying to get by, can you get out of the way? And he just doesn't move.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of awkwardly shuffles while Batman doesn't move. Little moments like that are
Yeah.
what pushes Robert Pattinson a little bit past Ben Affleck for me,
Yeah.
which is crazy because I never expected anybody to top Ben Affleck in all honesty.
Really.
Hmm.
Affleck's like easily number 3 for me. I just never liked him.
I thought he killed it. Especially, I know some people are caught up on the fact that he kills, but
Yeah.
to
That
me
doesn't bother me
that
that much. But
didn't bother me that much because it was, for one, it was part of his arc, so it wasn't just like a
yeah.
throwaway like, oh, he just kills people because he's a bad person or whatever. They made it a thing he was actively struggling with and that they were going to explore in future movies that aren't happening now. But
Hmm.
I liked the darker, older, rugged, more side of him where he was pushed past his breaking point. It's a Batman that wasn't able to hold himself together as well as
Yeah.
we're used to. And I don't think anybody will disagree that his action scenes are probably the best ones. Like, just in terms of like, I love Robert Pattinson's action scenes, but they're very tech based, and he's obviously using his technology to, uh, yeah, in very strategic ways to push himself and make himself. I don't know exactly how to word it, but he's very reliant on his technology.
Mhm.
Whereas Ben Affleck is more of just a powerhouse of just unlimited stamina and just one hit knocking out everybody. He punches a dude in the head and his head hits the floor before his body does. That's an insane amount of strength. That's probably not humanly possible,
Yeah.
but it's just that's that kind of Batman. And so yeah, that's why I love Ben Affleck as Batman. But I do think Robert Pattinson pushes it slightly past him.
Yeah. What do you think, AJ? I mean, AJ's probably not gonna pick Christian Bale because he hasn't seen that series.
AJ,
But...
I don't think H. Yeah.
The only thing I've ever seen Ben Affleck, sorry, is in Justice League movie we watched.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of fumbled.
And he didn't do
did.
shit in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, I'm Batman. I would fly with you guys, but
He's
my car
a lot better in Batman vs Superman, but they fucking butchered him in Justice League.
Yeah, that's the only thing I watched.
They were just like, he's got money. That's his superpower. He's rich.
Yeah. So if we're basing it off of that,
yeah,
or Pattinson. I mean,
yeah, it's unfair.
I did really like that scene you were talking about, Carson, where he was like, it was the like crime scene detective, and he was like getting evidence, and he was just standing there, and he would look up, and he just. He was like, excuse me, he like walked away.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that they got away from the rich guy shit. Like Christian Bale movies, a lot of the time he's just at socialite events, like politicking and stuff, making sure people don't suspect him of being Batman and all that kind of stuff. This one just doesn't give a fuck. Like I feel like it wouldn't even fuck with him too bad if people knew, honestly, just because he's so enthralled in being Batman and not Bruce Wayne. But I'm sure they'll explore the Bruce Wayne stuff more. But
that's kind of, and I actually thought they'd explore more in this movie because they kind of talked that up, that he dedicates like 95% of his time to being Batman, and Bruce Wayne is a side job pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that they would play that up more in this movie, but it looks like it's just something that's going to build off of in the series going forward.
Yeah.
But I didn't really mind the change because somebody pointed that to me, like how many real life billionaires are walking into restaurants and then just leaving a check and like buying the whole restaurant and then swimming in the fountain. Like they just kind of don't do that.
Nah.
That's what poor people riding rich people looks like.
Yeah.
And in real life, Jeffrey Bezos has probably not left his house in 2 weeks, and that's that's what those silly billionaires are. They got enough money; they don't have to do anything, so they just kind of
chill,
stay at home, and so I don't really mind the change, really at all. And it's not like those moments were like integral or like the best parts of those movies. We're not really missing anything. They were a checklist, really, just being like, oh, Bruce Wayne usually does all this crazy, lavish, over-the-top, rich guy stuff. But why?
Yeah.
What's it adding?
Pointless.
I'm back on a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, I think that's probably it for the Batman. It's really fucking good. Go watch it.
One thing I want to.
I'll say this: it's 3 hours too short. It is not too long. If you think it's too long, then don't watch it because that's not your movie. I don't know what to tell you.
One more thing I want to talk about with Batman before we throw it out. So I really think that they were setting up Hush in this movie.
Yeah.
If you probably called it too. If you know anything about Hush, His last name is Elliot, and his father is usually a friend of Bruce Wayne, or not Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
And in this movie, they set up there was somebody named Thomas Wayne, who, or no, not Thomas
Thomas
Wayne.
Elliot, right? Was his first name Thomas too?
They didn't say his first name.
Okay.
Yeah. Hush in the comics is named Thomas Elliot.
Yeah.
But this guy who they were talking about in the movie, who Bruce Wayne had problems with, and there's a rumor that he tried to get him killed and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
His last name was Elliot, and whenever Riddler, the reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His last name was Elliot, and when Riddler did his little slideshow, he wrote the word.
Hush.
He had the word "hush" in big capital letters
And,
written over his face.
When does anyone ever use that word in conversation? Like, there are so many other words you can use to mean the same thing. Yeah, exactly. I saw that too. I thought the same thing, but I feel like they set up a lot. So. Yes,
they set up a lot. This is going to be a very crowded universe, which I'm glad for. I'm glad they're having.
But you told me it's just Batman, right, Carson?
Yeah,
what's that?
For now, yeah.
Yes, this universe is just Batman. They said they have no plans as of now to do any other DC.
Which, if they're going to, really explore his whole rogues gallery, that's fine. Because he's got enough.
He's got enough, yeah.
More than enough. I'd say probably of the top 20 villains in DC Comics, 10 of them are Batman villains.
Mm-hmm. Injustice, 2/3 of the roster is Batman.
Yeah. Batman's villains' sidekicks are more popular than Superman's main villains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Batman.
And if I was, if they came and asked me who I wanted to be in the sequel, I'd really want Scarecrow. I don't think that he was in Batman Begins, but he was in 2 seconds of it.
I hope they don't go straight to Bane or Joker just because they've already done it.
Yeah, they've already done those, and there's room to explore. There's talk of the trees, who I think would be good. But there's just so many villains that there's no reason to keep doing the same handful.
Yeah,
which is why I didn't want them to do Joker at all.
Hush is relatively new, so if they do Hush and Court of Owls, that's all new ground to mess with.
Hush was 2000, I think, is when he.
Yeah. Court of Owls, I think, is even more recent than that.
Yeah, 2011.
Yeah. But. Breaking fucking news, bitch. Movie news. Some shit happened. In recent movie news, they cannot watch Batman in Russia. So I wrote here, sucks to suck, Vlad. Piece of dog shit. So.
We're getting political up in here.
Yeah, we won't. Definitely not talking about the war. None of us are educated enough for that. Jason Momoa is joining the FF franchise in Fast 10.
Yeah.
He's going to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah. He's going to be The Rock or any other character that's been in that series. John Cena. Whoever.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. This would be an interesting talking point because I'm trying to figure out why we hate Fast and Furious for being so over the top and ridiculous, but why most of us really, really liked Uncharted when it was the same kind of over the top.
Yeah, true.
I've really kind of been playing with that in my head because
I think it's
for me it's the
cringy dialogue, like the family shit.
That's part of it, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Is the story of Uncharted isn't as over the top as the action is. The story's pretty.
Yeah.
If you're just talking about one-on-one conversations and stuff, that seems pretty high quality.
Mm-hmm.
And then the action just happens to be all right, now suspend your disbelief and watch this guy hang off the side of a pirate ship.
That pirate ship scene, Uncharted was great. Uncharted is such a good turn your brain off action movie, but it's got a good story too. But it was really good.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's dope.
I have them. Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out myself. I was just like, why do I hate Fast and Furious? But I really, really liked Uncharted.
Yeah. And
they have the same kind of and I also think it's just because the leaps of logic, the individual, I got really dissecting into it. The individual leaps of logic for the action scenes in Uncharted don't seem as big. when he's hanging out the back of the plane and he's like jumping from the crates and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you jumped the second your hands leave the thing, you'd fly back 500 feet
Yeah. You're good.
and you'd just be done. But I think that leap of just like he's still able to jump from crate to crate is not as big of a leap as running into this random rope lying on the ground and then flying off a cliff and using the rope to Spider-Man the car across a cliffside like that. I don't know. I think any person, even the dumbest of people who have no idea how physics work, would be like, "Oh, that rope would snap."
Yeah.
But Uncharted, jumping
I
works.
can't watch them. I can't watch Fast and Furious movies, man. Just I'd have to go into it like I don't drink, but if I was to drink, I would watch Fast and Furious movies drunk. That's how I would have to do it. What else I got? I think Jason Momoa will fit in just fine.
I mean, yeah, he fits into that universe. Just all the big, ripped guys. I mean, that's
and I think he's replacing The Rock in the franchise.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson's done.
Not replacing the character, but
character. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson's done because, for one, I think he's even realizing that they're getting too stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the 8th one, they literally shoot him with rubber bullets, and he just walks it off.
Yeah.
Rubber bullets are not just paintballs. Like they will drop you.
They're meant to put you down, like knock you out.
They can kill you. Just because they're not lead doesn't mean they can't kill you.
So the last piece of movie news, Disney Plus is releasing a new, like Hulu has, a low-cost, ad-supported tier. And they just bought the rights to the Marvel Netflix series, Daredevil, Punisher, etc.
Yeah, they're putting all that on Disney Plus.
And so they're supposed to, because those movies, or those shows are like, for Disney standards, you don't want a little kid clicking on Punisher. Season 1, episode 20. Like, you just don't want that. And so they're going to have automatic parental controls on Disney Plus accounts, I think. Which is just really inconvenient for people. But so I doubt anyone uses the ad-supported version. Because doing that on Hulu... I do it on Hulu now, but it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of ads on a Hulu show are fucking absurd. And they take like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
The
whole
like watching TV.
Yeah.
The thing with Disney Plus has been very like just whiny about the fact that I don't know if whiny's right. They feel like they're throwing I feel like they're throwing a temper tantrum over having rated R stuff on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I don't really get it because every other streaming service has a kids mode.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it'd be that hard to put that in
just
Disney
put
Plus.
kids mode on there. And but instead they're gonna make it to where you have to enter a fucking password to watch Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
Which I'm fine because fine with that because the alternative is those will go into Hulu, and I don't even want to bother with Hulu.
No.
Hulu's garbage. I don't want to have that just to finish the.
What's Hulu?
Yeah, exactly.
Hulu?
You mean Hulu?
Hulu. I'm glad that they are on Disney Plus and they get to stick with the other Marvel stuff, especially now that the Netflix shows are coming over to the MCU through the multiverse.
Yeah, that's about all the news I had. And then I got 4 things here that are coming soon. On March 24th, there's a Halo show coming out. I don't know if AJ, have you played Halo?
Like just the multiplayer. I've never played the story or nothing.
That's how we are. So like, we don't know what it's about really, but it looks really good.
I
know just like the basics. Like they're just like a army in space.
Army,
You're just in space, man. You're just in space.
Well, there's a trailer and the trailer's dope.
And he's supposed to be like 6'9".
I thought it looks cool.
Yeah.
All of the
like 6'9".
All of the. I remember like looking at because I wanted to see what fans were talking about, so I looked at the subreddit for Halo and I saw what all the fans were talking about, and they've got all kinds of problems with it.
Really?
And I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe we're not really qualified to talk about it.
Yeah.
So.
Outsider looking in, it looks like it's going to be a really pretty show at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So March 30th, this is probably what the 3 of us are most excited for. Moon Knight.
Oh
Mhm.
yes, bro.
Moon
Yeah.
Knight.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would. Moon Knight was another thing. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I mean, it's Marvel. It can't be that bad. And then I saw that trailer, and it skyrocketed to probably my most anticipated thing for Marvel this year. I'm probably more excited for this than Doctor Strange, in all honesty.
Same.
I know everybody's freaking out about Doctor Strange and how it's like an Endgame sized movie. Like it's a massive movie, but like Moon Knight just looks better.
Yeah, it does. No,
Like it looks like
if this
it's gonna
is
take.
if this is something we keep doing, like me and Carson talked before, but like so many podcasts lately have been talking about Euphoria once a week. Like every podcast I listen to, I have to skip 20 minutes of because I don't watch Euphoria and I don't care about it. But if that's how I'm going to be with Moon Knight if we do this every week. Like we will talk about it. We'll talk about that week's episode for at least 15 minutes, I'm sure. So I'm very excited. But I know a lot of people think it's a Batman ripoff, but it's couldn't be further from the truth.
Moon Knight.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I.
Whoever said that can eat my butt.
Yeah, that's why.
Quote
That's why
me on
initially I was.
Respectively.
That's why initially I was kind of like, yeah, I'll watch it. It's Marvel because everything I'd heard about Moon Knight was just, was just that. But somehow I constantly miss the huge detail of him having, I forget the name of it,
multiple
dissociative identity.
Yeah.
Dissociative identity disorder. That alone is a massive thing, but I just see the way that they're handling it in the show. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that the main personality isn't even the perspective that we're seeing, like the dominant personality isn't even the one that we're seeing it from.
Yeah.
It's some random British guy, and he slowly figures out that he's got all these personalities.
Yeah.
That's going to be nutty.
That's going to be awesome.
I do hope that
I'm
lives
reading,
up to it. And
there's no way it won't. Like, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't
Marvel hasn't messed
kind of-
anything up yet.
I've been kind of
So I'm hoping
the
that.
Disney Plus shows have been hit or miss. I mean, sometimes when they hit great. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a huge disappointment overall.
It seems like the ones that they've missed on are the boots on the ground shows, which is what Moon Knight's going to be.
Yeah.
So
and Hawkeye is. I don't dislike Hawkeye, but it just. I don't know. I don't think it was really.
Yeah.
Not that it felt low stakes, because that's usually not a problem. I think it just kind of felt inconsequential overall.
Yeah.
So, just nothing really happened. I mean, yeah, Kingpin's here now, which is a huge deal. But, I mean, like, that's about it. It didn't feel like Hawkeye really had too much of an arc. I don't dislike Kate Bishop, but I'm not just overjoyed to see more of her.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt with Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was like they're kind of boring to like. Honestly,
Falcon and Winter Soldier had no reason to not be a movie. That shouldn't have been a TV show at all.
They were just kind of too boring, It was like
there was too much. Like, if you have 6 episodes, how on earth is there like
a filler? That one episode on the boat, I felt like was a filler episode.
Oh.
Yes, there was nothing in that episode worthwhile. Like, even people who like it are like, "Oh, it's a character development episode," but it's not relevant character development, really, and it's not something.
Yeah,
that
like
could
you don't really care about Sam's family.
That's not something that could have been done.
I want to know about Sam.
Yeah, like we met Hawkeye's family in a movie, but that only took 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and we're like, "Oh, sick! Hawkeye's got a family. Like he has something to fight for. That's easy."
Yeah.
I don't even mind them giving him a family. I just don't like a whole episode was just sitting and watching them do nothing.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, let's work on this boat.
Yeah, that boat. Like I kept saying, like if they don't smack somebody over the head with this boat in the finale, I don't care about it. Like, there's no.
No, like if your nephew isn't actually Kang the Conqueror, why the fuck am I seeing his face 5 times? Like, I don't care, man. Yeah. No, I think Moon Knight's gonna be a banger. I've been reading Brian
I'm so
Michael
excited for Moon
Bendis
Knight.
comics on him, and they're really good. Can't
I'm
wait.
so excited for Moon Knight.
Yep. Oscar Isaac looks like he's gonna nail it.
Dude,
And
I'll
then
say it again. I'm so excited for Moon Knight.
Hey, I've said it once. I'll say it again.
Dude, I am, bro. I'm so excited.
The day after Moon Knight comes out, on April 1st, is Morbius,
What,
Morbid.
like,
and I don't even know how to feel.
yeah, like it's been delayed so many times. I'm just tired of hearing about it.
And they put it on April 1st. Like, come on, guys. If you're gonna delay it again, don't fucking April Fool's our ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of salt
It
dirty. Just to even to even attempt to put it on that date is kind of shitty.
It's just so like, yeah, like I get the pandemic helped delay it,
Mhm.
but it's been delayed too much for even a pandemic movie.
Yeah.
Well, I
What
feel
day's
like
Moon Knight
most
coming out? 31st?
30th.
30th?
Yeah.
Coming out on a Wednesday? Come on, Marvel.
Is there a
That's what that was doing.
Is there a March 31st?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. It's 2 days later.
So it's 2 days later. My bad.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 days later.
But I just kind of felt like, I don't know, if it was something like world-shattering, like, something like No Way Home, if that got delayed
If
from
it was-
the pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, if
And
this
then-
was Amazing Spider-Man 3,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like everybody would be freaking out, but it's just another origin story for a character that I don't have much.
for a villain without a hero, like
Mhm. Yeah, and
that universe, if they keep going, desperately needs a Spider-Man.
yes, I'm glad that No Way Home opened up the door that maybe Andrew Garfield's gonna come back, or even I don't think it's nearly as likely, but they've talked about Tobey Maguire staying for a while, and I do think that they need something like that because that universe just seems so
Empty,
desperate.
Yeah,
like it really feels like
it's villains fighting other villains. Like,
they're picking up stuff, and there doesn't really seem to be a reason for it to be a universe because, I mean, obviously we're only a few movies into it, but like nothing's been connected.
mm-hmm.
I mean, we've only had 2 Venom movies, which are obviously connected.
Mm-hmm.
Morbius doesn't seem like it's gonna. Which, to be fair, Morbius isn't out, so maybe there's gonna be this huge connection to Venom that we don't know about.
They're making Craven.
Like Craven, which is like. I don't know. I never really wanted Craven to have his own movie, but also Craven's whole thing is that he hunts superheroes.
Yeah.
And if there's no superheroes, what's it going to be about?
Like maybe he's gonna hunt Venom. Maybe he's gonna hunt more. I don't know.
If he hunts Venom and Morbius, then that's going to be awesome.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, but he's not. He's going to hunt some guy who's got the same powers as him, even though he doesn't have powers. So it's just going to be another hunting dude.
Yeah.
And we're just going to get that exact. Because that's the thing. Both Venom movies, he just fights another symbiote, which I kind of get.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get not wanting to use Carnage right away, and I get using Carnage for a sequel.
There's gonna be a problem. Like, it's hard to find villains for villains. Like, they don't have rogues galleries. They have one hero that they always fight. So.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like the villain in Morbius, which has like been in none of the trailers. Like we don't really even know. I don't even know who the villain is. Like I don't know his name, but I know that it's just the guy with the same powers.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it in the trailer. There's some other guy who's got like the same exact powers, and I'm just tired of seeing that matchup.
Yeah.
I really didn't even mind it at first. Like people have been saying that for a long time. I didn't care that they did that in Ant-Man because I felt like their powers synergized well off each other.
Mm-hmm.
But like all of the Sony movies so far have been somebody fighting somebody with the same powers.
Yeah.
And if we get that again with Craven, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then, also, did you hear that they were even considering? I'm not kidding. I think they completely canceled it at this point. But they were going to make an Aunt May movie.
An Aunt May movie?
Yes. Yes. What would?
About what?
Yeah, exactly. As like.
About dating Happy? Like. Is
Yeah,
it a rom-com with Happy Hogan?
And it,
I
no,
might
it
fucking
wouldn't
watch
have
that.
been-
No cap.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
me too.
It's not the MCU Aunt May. It is the. It was going to be a brand new actress, and it was going to be part of the Sony universe. Why?
Let's get every Spider-Man character we can, make their movie.
Yes, exactly. But I'm
Jesus
glad
Christ.
they canned it. But just how the heck are
What
they
was
that?
Aunt May doing before her sister and brother-in-law died?
Like there's nothing to tell there. And if you're really stretching it, and most likely it would have been an action movie because it's Marvel, and
Yeah.
I doubt Sony would have not made an action movie. So who's she fighting? She's gonna fight another ant because
Yeah.
that's what Sony does. They take people with the same powers.
Aunt May versus Aunt April.
Yes,
Aunt June.
in July, and then they just this massive force of ants.
Yeah.
The Sony's so stupid, and I really hate what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
they're like the detriment to the whole
It's just-
Marvel universe. Anytime their hands get onto something, you know, you're always worried. Even
Movies-
No Way Home, I was worried about because they could have easily
Fucked it up.
put their hands in there and screwed it up. Even if Marvel tried to keep on top of things, because it was a very quickly made movie.
Yeah.
By all accounts.
They make movies no one asked for.
The fact that like a year before the movie came out, it was a completely different plot.
Yeah.
Is insane because Sony's just so bipolar and so always worried about, just so worried about the corporate side of movies and just won't just let people make stuff.
Yeah. I put one more movie on here, but me and Carson don't know much about it. I just really put it on here for AJ. April 15th, Fantastic Beast: The Secrets of Dumbledore comes out. That's about a month away now. New Harry Potter
I haven't
movie.
watched any of those. I haven't watched any of those. The new
Really?
ones. I didn't know they
Exactly.
existed.
Damn.
I watched all the the Harry Potter movies. I was huge into them when I was younger. I kind of stopped watching them. I haven't seen any of them in a while.
Mhm.
But I've
I
not
didn't
seen
even know
any
they
of them.
existed. The new one. I didn't even know that. Like literally,
Yeah.
when you told me about the new one, Leighton,
Yeah.
I had no idea they existed.
Well, it's supposed
No
to be a lot of Dumble lore, I guess.
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore
Like,
backstory
I
shit.
kind of. I also don't. I don't like it because, which again, I haven't even seen the movie, so I really shouldn't even be putting my word out there. But, Johnny Depp was the villain in the second one,
Yeah.
and they've recast him in this one, just for the whole Amber Heard situation, which I don't think is his fault at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's just kind of dumb.
so
And
that
puts
was-
a bad taste in my mouth.
Was it domestic violence, but it was mainly Amber,
Yeah,
like,
and yeah.
beating him and throwing stuff at him or something?
And there's pretty substantial proof that it was her,
Yeah.
like that you can find on the internet. It's
And-
not just like
She got recast for Aquaman, right?
no, and that's yeah,
Really?
and that's the really big thing is because they're WB, so they basically had to choose Amber Heard and Aquaman or Johnny Depp and Fantastic Beasts, and they chose Amber Heard and Aquaman, which
Wow.
even as somebody who wasn't a huge fan of Aquaman and also hasn't seen Fantastic Beasts,
Yeah.
why not Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's terrible in it. Maybe
It's
this is the
probably
good
it was
call.
probably literally like what made more money, Aquaman or
Mhm.
Fantastic Beast, and
Yeah, they
maybe
probably just
Aquaman
looked
just
at it.
barely edged it
Looked at it.
out. I don't know, but yeah, that's.
I'm pretty
fucked.
sure this second Fantastic Beast didn't do very well.
Yeah, I don't think it did either. And I like Aquaman for the DC movie. It's not awful, so
It's okay. It's not all. It just
I always expect
I'm
the worst.
happy about it.
So yeah, we're at 53 minutes, so
Yeah, we're probably
I
good here.
But anyways, that's episode 1 of the pod, Shisho podcast.